Thank you, Mpumi, and welcome to the ESG Africa conference and to the CEO panel.
Thanks, Achian.
And we'll just give it a go. And in the current ESG context, as you reflect on your introductory remarks, what does it take to lead a business in the 21st century?
Yeah, so I think that we need leadership through a different lens. I think the times where we're just leading and the focus is just on the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, those days are over. We need leadership that integrates what we need to do. We need leadership that is very clear that whilst we execute on strategy, how we deliver, whether it's a service or product, is important. And the how is the sustainability aspect of it. And it needs to be integrated. So also the days where, the aspects around what is important from a business perspective sits here, and the sustainability and ESG issues sit there are over. The two need to be integrated and all in one. So what's key for me is the level of integration around executing on strategy, but being very clear that as we deliver, we're taking care of the environment. We're addressing issues that have got a social impact, and we're just making sure that we're delivering in a holistic manner.
And what does ESG and corporate sustainability mean for your company? And in what ways do you as a CEO ensure and drive accountability for ESG performance?
Yeah, so I think ESG is about business continuity. COVID taught us that, right? COVID showed us that if you don't take care of the environment, you're not going to be able to operate. So I don't think that ESG is a framework that's now sitting kind of standalone. If you're alive around business continuity, then you understand that ESG is an imperative. How we drive it in our organization, we've got quite a comprehensive and very detailed ESG framework. We're very clear around the KPIs and the areas that we want to drive. We're clear around the time frame in terms of what we're looking for. So our framework goes up to 2025, and then we'll review after that. Our KPIs are very granular, very specific, very measurable. And then on top of that, from our remuneration perspective, we've got a direct connection between our ESG framework and the KPIs that also sit in our remuneration scorecards. So across all the elements, E, S, and G, we've got KPIs that sit in our remuneration scorecards. So in the same way that we are remunerated in terms of financial delivery, in Bidvest, your remuneration has also got an aspect where ESG must contribute.
And how has your company prioritized and invested or investing? How are you investing on the SDGs?
Yeah, so and this is another one for me that's important, that I don't think that a company's approach when it comes to sustainability and ESG should just be a generic one. I think it's important to take a step back and think about your organization, what you do, the impact, and then kind of go, how do I then amplify impact from an ESG perspective? So in our space, we employ 120,000 people. So quite clearly, the S for us is more important. And so you'll see that even when you look at our ESG framework, we overweight on the social aspect, right? And so we target and we focus quite a lot around what we can do for our own employees, their well-being. We focus a lot on gender equity. We focus a lot on community. So SDG 3, 5, and 8, as an example, are ones that are a high priority for us. So for us, it's who are we, what do we do, how can we then amplify our impact from an ESG perspective, and that's the approach that we follow.
And because the SDGs is the framework that gives us that lens to strategically contribute to society, do you have examples of where you collaborate with others in the delivery of your SDGs?
Yeah, and so we do. So we have a number of partnerships that we have across the board, whether it's in terms of community initiatives, whether it's internally around. And so, for example, one of the things that we're rolling out at the moment for our wage earners, we're actually busy rolling out a medical insurance benefit to probably approximately about 20,000 staff. And there we're collaborating. And that's well-being, SDG 3. I could give you a whole lot of other examples, but we've got many, many partners that we collaborate with in that space.
And you're also the chair of the board of the Global Compact Network, South Africa, part of the UN Global Compact, which is the largest corporate sustainability initiative in the world. Can you please share with us what the key strategic priorities for the Global Compact Network South Africa are, and what can participating companies in South Africa expect in the short to medium term?
Yeah. So, as a key priority, we want more business involvement. We want more private sector involvement. We've got a fantastic membership at the moment, but we've got a big focus on growing that membership. And so I would also like to call on some of the corporates out there who are not our members as yet to please come on board and join the membership. Secondly, one of the things that is a priority for us is that we want data to drive what we're doing in the space of ESG. And so a big focus for us at the moment is making sure that from a global compact perspective, we are the custodians of data when it comes to an ESG perspective. And that will obviously also support business at large when you're kind of trying to benchmark yourself, see what is happening, look at best practice. We want to be able to provide that. We also want to take a sectoral approach. And talk to various sectors around at a sectoral level. How can you make a better impact from an ESG perspective? And lastly, we've got our VNR process that is underway. I'd really like to call on corporates wide across South Africa to please participate in the VNR process. It's really an important process. We want to be able, from a South Africa and a country perspective, be able to have a view in terms of where we're at and what the progress looks like in terms of implementing our SDGs.
So I guess that is your big call to action to companies out there.
Absolutely. That is the big call to action. Please participate. Please participate. We need to be able to give an SA view. We can't do it on our own. You are the ones that are implementing and executing on ESG. So really a big call that you please participate in the VNR process.
Thank you very much, Mpumi, for making the time to be with us at the ESG Africa conference, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Kachin.